Hey, what's up, guys and girls? This is Midori, and I'm back with another episode of Draw Midori. Welcome back, guys and girls. I hope you had a great Christmas. Today I will be doing the Mandalorian,
No! Drop your weapons!
but this particular drawing will be sort of dynamic, so to speak. So this is going to be a dynamic drawing, so it's going to be a little bit different than my normal drawings. So first off, starting off, I have to plot out the perspective lines. And what I mean by that is this drawing is in a 2-point perspective. So there's a vanishing point to the far left. You see the little dot there. And then there's also another vanishing point to the far right. And I'm pretty much going to plot out and, briefly gesture the character in like sort of a very simplified form. As you can see there, sort of like thinking in shapes, like a 3D building. And then from there, I'm going to, plot out the basic forms and then slowly start to add detail. Like, the Mandalorian, he has pretty much this particular genre will be taking artist license, creative license, so it's not his complete armor. It's sort of a little bit of everything. I just took different references from all over the internet, and I'm not particularly drawing the old version of his armor because he has an old one where he looks more like Boba Fett. But this drawing is more like a combination of both. He looks a little bit like Django and Boba Fett in a way, just without the antenna on the head. So as you can see in the far right, he has the flamethrower out, his signature flamethrower, and also his blaster, his small little bat blaster, which is coming towards you. So since it's coming towards the camera, it's going to be very big because it's closest to the camera. As you go further away from the camera, things tend to overlap and get smaller. So you can see that in his right arm. So when it comes to drawing foreshortening, it's a little bit, it can be difficult to a lot of beginning artists. I mean, it's still difficult for me. So I had to use a mannequin just to make sure that I was getting the perspective right, especially on his left leg also, because that's foreshortening too. It's going away from the camera, and the camera is sort of positioned above him, so it's sort of like a 3/4 view looking down. And so his left leg is also foreshortened, so you're not going to look at it straight on. You're looking at it at an angle, so it's sort of like overlapping each other and getting smaller as it gets towards the ground. And here I'm pretty much detailing the gun, not, like after I started from the basic shape, then I went into the details of the gun. And after this is done, then as always, I will start with a light multi-liner, Copic multi-liner, and then go into the inking. And this drawing is not going to have any color because it's basically a light and shadow black and white drawing with a dynamic pose. Now, guys and girls, this is where I usually go over a brief background on whatever the character or subject matter I'm drawing. Now, Mandalore or Mando, his real name is Din Djarin, and referred to by most as the Mandalorian, or Mando for short, was a human male Mandalorian bounty hunter during a New Republic era. Now we know that he's not actually a Mandalorian. He was discovered, rescued by them. If you haven't watched the final episode, this is sort of like a spoiler. So he's sort of like a human. He's sort of like was rescued by the Mandalorians and put into their guild. And so pretty much with his berserker armor and distinctive mask, the Mandalorian was both well equipped and aromatic. A stranger who passed was shrouded in mystery. He was a battle-hardened warrior, a man of few words, and a formidable mercenary in an increasingly dangerous galaxy. After the fall of the Galactic Empire, the Mandalorian made a name for himself as a member of the Bounty Hunters Guild, collecting bounties as he traveled across the galaxy, Outer Rim territories far from the authority of the New Republic. In his personal starship, the Razor Crest, around a 9 ABY, the Mandalorian was hired by a client who offered a substantial reward for acquisition of the asset located on the planet Arvala 7, which we all know who is pretty much Baby Yoda. So, guys, as you can see, the drawing is pretty much coming to an end. I hope you guys seen the last episode of The Mandalorian, just aired about a day ago, and it was pretty good. In my opinion, it wasn't the best episode, but it was a pretty decent episode, and I'm looking forward to see where they take the series from after this. As you can see here, again, when I said this is pretty much a black and white drawing, dynamic pose. I hope you guys learned something, and as always, catch you guys and girls later. Midori out.
Have them lower theirs first.
We have you 4-1.
I like those odds.